for smokers. It's the next best thing to home. Call Christian Care Center of Catawba, nurturing body, mind, and spirit.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And of course, Coffee Talk is on the air this morning. And we cannot start Coffee Talk without what we do every single day now. And we're so proud of this. And this is our pledge from our kids. So are you ready? Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. We're about to do the pledge. All right. Hit it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yay! I love to start the day off like that. I tell you, it just really kind of kicks it in gear for you and gets everything in the mood. So stick around. We're going to kick off Coffee Talk with Miss Ashley White from the Caldwell County Extension Office, and we're going to do that next. And don't forget, today's Crazy Hair Day. I know Miss Littlejohn is doing that this morning, and at Caldwell County Schools all week long. It's Spirit Week, and what a great day for it. Of course, today is Crazy Hair Day. Yeah, I know. I imagine I just woke up like this. How about that? We'll be right back. Coffee Talk, 1580 103.3 WPKY. During this trying time of the COVID-19 crisis, the Body Shop at Trice Hughes is open for business to help you with your repair needs. With the uncertainty that these times bring, Trice Hughes wants you to know they will help with your insurance deductible to get your vehicle repaired. Call for an appointment or free estimate at 270-365-5522. Working together with your home team at Trice Hughes will make sure you receive the service you deserve. 1580 103.3 WPKY, 8:15 on Coffee Talk. And good morning, Miss Ashley White. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
Good. Of course, it's Wednesday, and we always check in with our friends over at the Caldwell County Extension Office. And I'll tell you, this is the girl that is the creator, as far as the creativeness. That's all about Ashley White, I'm telling you. So what have you been up to? Have you come up with anything cool?
Well, we're trying. I've been working on a virtual story time each week. So we started with our virtual spring break story time. And so now we've moved that to one day a week on Fridays. And as many of you know, and I know you know, I when we were meeting face to face, I was able to go into the preschools, and I went to the library every month, and I got to do storytime lessons with the kiddos. Well, I don't get to do that right now, so
Aww.
we have moved to that online, and we're doing a virtual story time. And with that, I do have to have participants register in advance so that I can send them a link to join. We're doing it on Zoom. So if anybody has any questions about how to download Zoom or get connected, we can definitely help with that. But our virtual story times, we're going to do those on Fridays at 10 o'clock.
I think that's super. I mean, I think the kids, really and truly, I think kids have this tendency to be able to just adjust and, kind of bend a little bit when, as far as the methods go, a lot easier than adults can. I really do.
It's been really fun.
The kids just say, okay, well, we'll do it on, the telephone instead of, in person. And they're just so willing to bend. And I think sometimes it's me that's set in my ways, not my kids,
And the little ones think they're on TV.
Oh, I know.
So, it's great.
They can be a star for the day. I love that.
And if you turn your camera on, then you can see the other kids in the story hour and say hi. Several of them know each other, so they like to get to see their friends.
Well,
so we've had a really good time with that.
And it's library week, too. So when you talk about story time, that's perfect.
Yeah, it is. And then I've got a Cook Together, Eat Together Facebook group going, and that is all about cooking with kids. We've got a little bit more time on our hands to do those things now. So each week we will I'll post up a recipe, and did a recipe demo with a special guest star, 6-year-old, who will be cooking with me. And we had a really good time last week, and you could definitely tell it was live. So So for the most part, we will do those demos live unless it's something that needs to bake, and I want you to be able to see the final product. But cooking with kids is super fun. Cooking with kids can be messy, and you never know what they're going to say or do. So if you want to see that happening, then join the group.
I think that's so cool, though, when it's live and it's messy, and it's because that's real, and that brings a lot of realism into it. And I think kids love that.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's helpful for the parents to know that it's happening everywhere.
I bet. Well, nobody, you know what? When we watch the sitcoms and you know, we watch the home improvement shows, and then we watch all of even the commercials can be bad about it. It makes everybody look like they are Martha Stewart, you know, and that we're all just slacking. And that's just not reality, you know? We don't fall out of bed with our hair done and the house clean. I mean, not in my house anyway. And I don't think most people do. And I think we need to give ourselves a little bit of a break.
Yes. And then those are the 2 online programs I've got going on for kiddos. And then we have our programs on the go that we put outside the office for people to pick up. And today we are debuting our Earth Day kit.
Aww.
And we have a wildflower seed bomb kit in there, a Cheerios bird feeder instructions, coloring sheet, scavenger hunt, Earth Day yoga, and more. So stop by the office and pick up your kids.
And then the coloring contest, the deadline was today, right?
Yes, I think today at 4.
Okay.
So you still got time to get those in, and we still have coloring sheets available outside the office. We do ask that you tag us in your pictures or complete our survey or send us messages. Let us know how you're using these kits. We really want to see what's going on. We can't see you in person, face to face, so we have to see you virtually.
Well, I have heard that they're very popular. I know that garden kit was very popular.
Yes, the garden kit and our first Laugh and Learn package, those are gone.
Oh, so. Even the spring break one. The spring break, I think, was gone in an hour and a half. They were
gone pretty quickly. So those were gone very quickly. So they have been a hit. We have really enjoyed putting those together, and we plan to continue. At least every 2 weeks, we'll get something new out. We've been every week or two, so we plan to continue that.
Oh, fantastic. Ashley White, I love that. You guys are doing so much over at the Extension office, and I know there's a lot of hard work that goes into those, and we sure do appreciate it, because it's been a whole lot easier keeping the kids involved, when you've got things like this that we can do. And don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of people that homeschool these days all year long, but there's a lot of us who are new to it. So when it comes to these kind of things, that really does help.
Well, it helps just provide just a little bit of a break from the typical school day, because the kids were used to going to school all day,
right.
And then now they're having to they're doing school at home, and for some that is a big change. And some of the little ones, I've got a 6-year-old who is still trying to figure out that it's a school day and that there's still schoolwork to be done.
Oh.
So we're getting there, but it does. I think it takes just a little bit of time. If that's not your typical day, if you're not used to being at home all day, then it takes some getting used to. So we're hoping that these do provide a little bit of a break, a little bit of fun, something that the family can do together.
Well, at least if nothing else, it gives them a little bit of a break from the monotony. So I think that's wonderful. And the sunshine, if we could just get rid of this rain, I think the sunshine is helping. I really do. Of course, my littles aren't very little anymore, but my littles were out, helping in the yard and all that good stuff. So I think that helps. Get a little of the vitamin D and have an excuse.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to the wildflower one, though. You said it's a wildflower bomb?
It's a wildflower seed bomb kit. You put it together yourself.
Oh, wow. Well,
yes.
I like
and
that.
we do ask that you take one per family.
Well, come on now.
I know.
No, I'm playing. I am. The coloring contest, though, I think that's awesome. Reminding everybody, again, today, we need to make sure that we get those in because that's the deadline. So, 50th anniversary Earth Day. How about that?
I know. Exciting.
And that's kind of like one of y'all's holidays. I mean, the Extension Office and Earth Day, that kind of goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Well, we had to get our kit ready.
Well, yeah.
We were like, we got our kit. We got to get it out on Wednesday, ready to go.
I just think that's cool, though, because it's a special day that's set aside. I wish to goodness people would think about conservation all year long. But of course, at least if they'll, Earth Day will remind them a little bit.
Right.
Maybe that'll help.
We all need a reminder.
Well,
Tell them every now and then.
Tell them where they can find you and how they can get a hold of you.
Okay, so we are still limiting public access to our office, but we are still available by phone. You can call our office at 270-365-2787, and then we'll put you in touch with the agent you're looking for. If you're looking for me, you can email me at ashley.white1@uky.edu, or you can reach me on my cell phone, 270-625-0165, or Facebook.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
And you keep coming up with those great ideas, okay?
Oh, I'll try. I'm working hard at it.
Miss Ashley White, of course, with the Caldwell County Extension Office right here in town, and she does an amazing job of working with the kids and always finding things to do with Homemakers Club, and she's such an encourager with little kids and reading, and I think that's fantastic. It always finds a fun way to do it. So if you can log on and do that with her for story time or any time, really, just give it a chance at least once with your little, or maybe just you just want to check it out. I promise you won't be disappointed because she's just a hoot and she has so much fun with those kids. Stick around. Of course, we got tons more coming up on Coffee Talk. To include, we're going to talk to Chad Oliver from the Chamber of Commerce this morning. And, of course, he's the director there. And he's got all kinds of things to tell us about Princeton and Caldwell wise for the Chamber. And then, of course, Mayor Jim Seibert from Fredonia. And I know normally we talk about city things and Fredonia things. Well, you know what we're going to talk about today? We're going to talk about Earth Day things because he happens to know some, well, not some, but a lot about honeybees. And that's one of the biggest things that when I think of Earth Day, not only do I think about erosion and conservation and things like that, honeybees. And that's something that can be endangered very quickly. So we need to be thinking about that as well. And he's got a lot of experience with honeybees. So we're going to talk to Mayor Seibert here in just a little bit. So stick with us. We got tons coming up on Coffee Talk 1580 103.3 WPKY. WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast for today. Got a little bitty chance of showers late this afternoon around supper time. High 67 tonight. Showers overnight. Low 52 tomorrow. Those thunderstorms are going to mainly be early in the morning. Then the rain will be of the scattered variety throughout the day. And then a lot more solid coming up into the evening hours. High 71. Chance of rain on Friday is going to continue all the way through the weekend. Early next week as well, all the way through Tuesday, at least a 20% chance each and every day. Highs in the lower 70s. It is 51 at 828, 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Brantley Furniture. At ABC Finance, we have always been committed to keeping our customers and our staff safe and healthy.
In response to the recent COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak, we've implemented several new policies company-wide to ensure the safety and well-being of all.
This includes limiting access to parts of our office to the public, isolating loan closings to one area, and frequently sanitizing all hard, frequently touched surfaces.
We've also asked our staff to please stay home in the event they are feeling unwell.
If you, as a customer, are unwell or are uncomfortable with getting out of the house, stay home. And please remember, payments can be made by phone or online at abcfinanceonline.com.
You can also apply for a loan on our website with fast decisions and quick turnaround time.
If you have any additional questions, please contact the office nearest you. Locations are listed on our website, abcfinanceonline.com.
Also, follow us on Facebook for the latest information. And stay safe from all of us at ABC Finance.
We at the Edge Media Group believe in the power of prayer. That's why we're asking you to pray for our community. It's simple. Just record yourself on your phone and email us your prayer. Give your name and record your prayer. We'll do the rest. Email your prayer to prayerswpky@gmail.com. We'll broadcast a community prayer on this station every day around 10 in the morning and 10 in the evening. Before our morning prayer at 10, we will ring bells as requested by Governor Andy Beshear. We will get through this together.
Have you been to Big Deal Store yet? Go to WPKYonline.com and click on Loyal Listener Big Deals. The other day, I redeemed a gift certificate on my smartphone. It was so easy. Thanks to Loyal Listener Big Deals, I found new places to eat, have fun, take the family out, and get my car fixed. With Loyal Listener Big Deals, you can save money and try new businesses. Go to WPKYonline.com. But you better hurry. You never know how long each deal will last.
1580 103.3 WPKY Coffee Talk. And of course, we just got through talking to Miss Ashley White from the Caldwell County Extension Office, which she's fantastic. We just love her to death and does a wonderful job. And of course, she just talked about the brand new Earth Day packets. And those are going to be available today. So you can drop by, I think she said after about 10 o'clock, and you should be able to pick up those packets. And they are while supplies last, and they are one per family, please. So don't forget about that. And then, of course, your submissions for your Earth Day coloring contest is going to be the deadline for that, again, is today. So don't forget about that as well. And on the phone this morning, we've got next up is Chad Oliver. Good morning.
Good morning, Tess. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well,
Of course, he's with the Chamber of Commerce right here in Princeton. And, there's a lot of things that I guess that I wanted to kind of run over with you this morning. But I think the one thing that stood out, doggone it, yesterday I heard about Heidi over at Capitol Cinema doing the popcorn sale, the pop-up popcorn sale this weekend. And I thought, how wonderful is that?
Yeah, Heidi has been, she has been so good working with the Chamber over the years. And, of course, every year that we have the Small Town Christmas, they help us out with the free movie. And I just think that's awesome. And I know that's one of the biggest, everyone loves the popcorn from there.
Right.
And, of course, years ago, I was an assistant manager there at the theater.
Oh, were you really? That's so cool.
It's probably been, I don't know, close to 10 years ago, I guess. But I worked with Heidi, but we would have people just stop in there just for the popcorn. Wouldn't even stop for a movie. They were just wanted the popcorn. So it's I think it's really great. I think the community is in dire need of that, and I think it's a pick me up for the community, a positive, pick me up.
Well, I think it is. I think it's one of those things. It makes you feel normal. And you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say, because, we talk about supporting local, and we talk about making sure that the businesses, that we support them right now because they need it so badly. I remember when there wasn't a theater when I was growing up downtown that was open. And I appreciate it so much being there now.
Oh, definitely. I can remember, of course, we moved here. My family moved here from Graves County, and 1981, and of course, I remember the theater when I was a kid, being open, and of course, going to see E.T. and Gremlins, and all that when they came out when I was a kid, and that's some of my fondest memories are from the theater here in town. So when it opened back up, I think that was just the greatest thing for Princeton. And people come from all over. People rather a lot of times come here to this theater,
right,
than go to the bigger one. So I think this is great. Heidi's doing a wonderful job.
Well, and that's the sort of thing that if you love it as much as we do, and especially if you remember, when there wasn't one down there, I don't want to go back to that. I want to keep our theater here because I love them. But again, you need to support them during this time. And that goes right along with, all of the businesses in our area.
Oh, it does, definitely. And even if you can't go in there and watch a movie, you can, right now, you stop and get that popcorn. It's on the 26th, on Sunday the 26th is when that's going to be. And, they're going to have candy and drinks, and just stop in there and, stop by and say hi, and just tell them you're thinking about them and help support them.
Well, we gave away 2 buckets this morning, Chad. You missed out on it. We gave away 2 of them. All you had to know was how old Yoda was. So we gave away 2 buckets this morning, and tomorrow's Top Gun Day. So we're going to give away two more.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
We're talking. We got very excited about popcorn. I think it's just the normalcy of it, though, Chad. I mean, it's one of those things. If you're just tuning in right now, Chad Oliver, of course, from our Chamber of Commerce here in Princeton. We're talking about just normalcy and businesses, and of course, Chad and I have always kind of talked a lot about the ambiance of downtown and that small business feel. And right now, I know in a lot of ways everything's kind of upside down and it doesn't have the same feeling. But we need to support these businesses even during the times when they're not open. And Beth Mann had been giving some ideas and that sort of thing. The sweet lady, I'm telling you, I love her to death. She's so creative, and had mentioned gift certificates, Chad.
Of course, we do have our, gift certificates available through the chamber.
Right.
They can be used at any, chamber member business, and of course they go over, real well. And we've got to support our community, and I know everybody is doing their part. And
how do those work? Or explain those when you talk about their gift certificates down at the chamber. Explain those.
Well, anybody can, of course, contact me and pick one up, and you can get them for any denomination that you want. And what they can be used for is any business that, of course, is a member of the chamber, and they work just like a regular gift certificate would, and you would use that to purchase, your goods or service or whatever, and it works just like a regular gift certificate. So they're great. You can purchase one now and go support, your whatever business you like, whether it's dining or the flower shops or whatnot, and use it now or save it for later. But that money, you're supporting that business directly. So.
Right. I think that's so cool because that's one of those, it's like chamber cash. And back in the day, you would get your traveler's check. So this is kind of like the chamber check.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's right.
Well, and the other thing I wanted to hit on is there was a book that was coming out and that was benefiting, our downtown businesses. Can you tell us a little about that?
I can. Michelle Wyatt has she got in touch with us. It's probably been about 3 weeks ago, a month ago or so, and she has got a book coming out, and what it's going to be about is it's called Buckle Up Buttercup, and what it is of course she's going to donate some of the proceeds to help our businesses downtown, and she wanted to do that on her own and contacted us, and we're helping promote her and support her in this venture, and we're tickled to death that she's wanting to do this and help support our community, and I just think it's overall just great.
Well, again, it's neighbors helping neighbors is what that's a great example of.
It is, and this is just out of the goodness and kindness of her heart that she wanted to do this, and we just couldn't be, we're just beyond tickled that she's wanting to do this, and of course you can pre-order it now on Amazon, and we're just looking forward to it, and especially hometown. What's even greater than just having a hometown person,
right.
Get back to their community. So we're just so happy for her and happy for what she's wanting to do for us.
Are you finding that our businesses are taking advantage of any of the benefits out there, or are any of them signing up for some of that?
They are, and of course we do have. I got the other day we had the ad matching grant program that is through the Paducah Sun and Times Leaders through Paxton Media Group. And of course, it's a matching ad grant program for the community that any business can, apply for. And I sent that email out Monday, and so that's one thing. And then we also have the small business loans, that are ongoing right now as well.
Well, I think that's fantastic that you're, doing all that you can to support the businesses, because really and truly, that's the backbone of your community. That's your infrastructure. And, you need to support that as much as you can, even if that means, and I understand too, and I'm one of those that, just because we get a stimulus check doesn't mean we have a lot of exhaustible income all the time that we can spend. And I understand that. But even if it's $20, if you've got $20, go to one of your favorite places in town and get a sandwich. Or do something, something. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It doesn't have to be, to cost $1,000. You can go over to Tin Roof and buy a gift for Mother's Day, and make sure that you do it, with one of your businesses. And that's what it's all about.
You're exactly right. And of course, you have seen. I know I've seen. Of course, I know everybody is rightfully so down, during this time, but. The way that our businesses have been, of course, on social media, you see them. They're constantly with West Market, with Gather on Main, with Majestic House, and Black Patch Grill. They are constantly posting, and they're still in business.
Well, and you're the media guy too, which I think is so cool, because right now, I don't think we could have picked a better person to be leading the chamber right now, because, as far as our businesses and the people here in this community are really relying heavily on a lot of unique and new ideas as far as online ventures and, maybe using social media more than they ever have before. And that's kind of your platform. So I think that was perfect timing.
Well, it's great. And you see more like with the Tin Roof. Of course, you can order online.
Right.
Majestic House, they have got where you can place your orders online through Majestic House now. And of course, even before all this happened, that's the way everything was headed towards anyway. But this right now, it's the businesses, they haven't slowed down, and I think that speaks for our community, and everybody's pitching in, wanting to help. I know with my wife Casey and I, we, are going to ordering out, whether it's from Gather on Main or Majestic House or whatnot, and Polly Eyes, we try to pick a business and where we want to eat at each week and order from them, and we can all do our part to pitch in and keep these things going. So,
well, and it doesn't hurt that they're all ridiculously good to begin with. It's right. You can say you're helping them, but it's a treat at the same time. It's a win-win situation, really.
It is. It most. I can't. All the weight I've gained since being on quarantine, but you know what? It's good food, though.
Oh, I told Kathy, I said, Jesse's going to be so busy because we're going to have boot camp by the time it's over with.
Well, you're right. You're exactly right.
I'll tell you what, we sure do appreciate you. If anybody's got any questions about those gift certificates, or maybe they're wanting to get more involved, or maybe they even want to join, what is the phone number? How do they get a hold of you?
270-963-0644. You can contact me at that number any day that you want. I've always got the phone on me. and or you can email me at PrincetonKYChamber@gmail.com, and you can also message me on Facebook, whatnot, and so I'll get right back with you. So we'd be happy to have new members, and of course we've still had people joining even during this quarantine time.
Great.
And so we are the chamber's on a good roll right now. It's all looking good. It's all looking good for Princeton, and I know we're all excited to get back to somewhat of a normal routine, and I think we're on that road. So
well, and I'll tell you, even outside of the chamber, you're a real source of encouragement on social media, and you've got a lot of kind words to say, and Bible study and that sort of thing too. We sure do appreciate your leadership in the Princeton area.
Well, I appreciate that, and I thank you for that. We're like I said, God has blessed us with a very wonderful community, and we've got great leaders here, and just an overall great community. I mean, everyone here in Princeton is just it's really just a great place to live. I know it's couldn't ask for a better community. Wouldn't want to live anywhere else, really. So
we're going to get there. We're going to get there, Chad. I keep telling them. I said we're one day closer to this whole thing being over. Today is one day closer.
We are, and we're going to get through it together, and we're going to be stronger on the other side of it. So,
that's right. Well, thank you so much. You tell the wife and beautiful daughter we said hello.
I most certainly will. No, Izzy, she's still asleep right now.
She dressed up as the cutest elf during Christmas, and I won't forget that anytime soon. She was something else.
I'm a little biased towards her, though, but I think she was, too.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Chad. Have a great one.
Well, you too, Tess. Thank you.
Of course, Chad Oliver from our Princeton and Caldwell Chamber of Commerce right here in downtown Princeton. And tons of ways for you to get involved and help and support local. Of course, our initiative here at the Edumedia Group is hashtag support local. So make sure that you put that on any of the things that you post online. And that way we can all kind of band together and see and focus and put a spotlight on our local businesses. Hey, stick around. Now, speak of spotlight, the earth, hello, that needs a little bit of a spotlight too. And coming up, Mayor Seibert, that is, from Fredonia, is going to help us out. And we're going to talk honeybees and Earth Day and 1580 103.3 WPKY. Stick around. During this trying time of the COVID-19 crisis, the Body Shop at Trice Hughes is open for business to help you with your repair needs. With the uncertainty that these times bring, Trice Hughes wants you to know they will help with your insurance deductible to get your vehicle repaired. Call for an appointment or free estimate at 270-365-5522. Working together with your home team at Trice Hughes will make sure you receive the service you deserve.
This is Mallory Hancock Lawrence, and we love our Caldwell and Line County friends. We invite you to come to Cadiz anytime you can to shop with us. We're making it even easier for you. Whether you work in Cadiz or just come to town for a visit, stop in and shop with us. But if you're in a hurry, you can pre-order your groceries at Hancock'sNeighborhoodMarket.com. It's so easy and convenient. Of course, we want to see your smiling face anytime we can, but if you're in a hurry, Hancock'sNeighborhoodMarket.com is the way to go. Hancock's Neighborhood Market, Cadiz.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Of course, Coffee Talk is on. And one of my favorite people, you know what? And I will admit, I thought about him this morning during our trivia because I think he's a big Star Wars fan as well.
Oh, I am.
Of course, Mayor Jim Seibert from Fredonia, and I love him to death, and I depend on him a lot, and I bug him a lot, but he always says yes, so I'm going to keep on doing it till he says
Oh, no.
No, but this morning, did you know the answer to it? Did you hear the question this morning?
I did not. I was probably drinking coffee, grumbling about the day.
No, I'm glad you didn't, because now I'm going to put you on the spot. I wonder if you know it or not.
No.
Oh, yeah, yes, I am.
Oh, no. Okay.
I guarantee you know it. How old was Yoda when he died?
Oh, geez, I don't know. Like 500 and I don't know.
Really? I thought that was going to be a really easy question. And everybody told me this morning that it turned out to be a really difficult question. And I thought, well, sure, I I didn't realize that it was a tough one, but it's 900 years old.
900. There you go. Yeah, those guys stick around, don't they?
I'm telling
Well,
you.
the force is strong in them.
It's like Roy Gene Rogers right there.
I wouldn't compare
How old
Roy
is
Gene
that
to
guy
Yoda.
now?
I would not do that. Sorry, Roy.
Oh, I love him. If I didn't love him, I wouldn't pick on him. How about that? No, but we were talking honeybees. Of course, I know that some people may not know it because I didn't know it till recently. But you're really into the whole honeybees and honey.
Yeah, I've been doing it 9 years now. We stopped to figure it up a couple of days ago. And it's funny how I got into it. 9 years ago, we decided we were going to take a vacation, drive all through Kentucky. And one night we stayed at a hotel that I wouldn't call it a nice hotel, but about the only station you could get on the TV was KET. And they had a special on bees, honeybees. And they had a special about Kelly bees in Clarkson, Kentucky. And I said, I'm going to do that. And that's how it got started. A vacation has turned into a hobby.
Well, how cool is that? Of course, there's more into it than just that. I mean, I wouldn't think that it would be an easy thing just to step into. I mean, there's a lot of ins and outs to it, right?
Yeah. I mean, bees have been around since dinosaurs. So they know how to survive. You're just trying to get them to survive where you want them to be.
Right.
And try to keep them alive. Things have changed. When settlers first came to America, there were no honeybees in America. They brought them with them.
Oh.
I mean, there were pollinators, but there were no honeybees.
Okay.
So that they were brought over to America, and of course they flourished. But over the years, other things like hive beetles from Africa have come over, and they get in the hive and they go through them and kill them. Hate hive beetles. Hate those little things.
Well, I'll tell you, that maybe that's what, because I talked to you the other day. Of course, honeybee populations have really been kind of shaky in the last few years. And a lot of people that are, normally have a ton of them with their gardens and that sort of thing. Of course, my family has always been big into gardening and the orchards and the gardens and that sort of thing. And we've never had a problem until recently with the amount of honeybees. Now, if you come to my house, there is not one blade of grass, I don't think, that doesn't have a honeybee on it. If you go to my dad's a mile down the road, a lot fewer, but he's still got quite a few, but nowhere near as many as I do. And then you go to my uncle who, lives in town here, and he has none. And he keeps trying to attract them. And the numbers there went from a ton of them to very, very few. And I thought, I keep hearing about how important it is for conservation for honeybees, and I will tell you, it's a lot. I think the problem is bigger than what a lot of people think it is.
I wouldn't, and they still really are not sure what's causing it. Of course, pesticides, and I'm just going to use something. If it kills a bug, it kills a bug. There you go. It doesn't care what kind of bug it is.
Right.
But pesticides are probably a lot of the cause of it. There's all sorts of things. They say 5G. Of course, they're blaming Corona on 5G. But it's just a lot of things. Like I lost 7 hives last winter, and I think it was because the winter was too warm. I think they went out and would fly around, use up their energy stores instead of hunkering down and doing what they're supposed to do.
No, that makes sense though, because when they get taken out of their cycle, it really can mess with them.
Well, you're out running around and they think it's spring and there's no flowers, and so I put some food in there for them, but they still. I lost 7 hives. That's the biggest hive loss I ever had.
I started to say, that sounds like a lot. Is that not a lot? I mean, how many hives do you have?
I'm up to about 11 now.
Oh, wow.
I had to restock, of course.
Wow. But, I mean, that's a significant number then. I mean, because it sounded like it was, but...
I bet my neighbors really like me in Fredonia.
Oh, well...
Bees flying all around getting their hummingbird water.
No, you know what, though? I've got my neighbor next door does honeybees. And I will say that it really... I thought at first, because I'm allergic, and I thought, oh, great. That's what I need right there.
I am too, so just keep that in mind.
Well, no, but I mean, as long as you use some common sense and I don't walk around my yard full of honeybees that are on the grass in flip-flops, I'm usually okay.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't bother
you. They've got their own agenda. They do not care about you at all.
No, it's those carpenter bees that drive me nuts. The ones that'll chase you.
Yeah, it's fun to sit around and throw a rock in there and watch them chase the rock.
We get the tennis rackets out.
That's so mean.
I probably shouldn't admit that, should I?
No, they are pollinators, I would like to say, but I wouldn't have said that.
Man, those things are mean, though. They're not mean. They will. They dive bomb you when you're on the mower.
Oh, yeah.
And
yep.
I think, sometimes, and again, that's probably a whole nother show, because there's all different kinds of wood that they burrow in, and then certain ones they don't, and they're just impossible, and they can really ruin a structure pretty quick. So
the paint, I was told they will not burr through paint. If you paint your wood, they will not go through it. With latex paint or outdoor paint. But I really don't have a problem with them because,
oh boy, we do. Well, I'll tell you. And maybe it's because you have so many of the honeybees. That may be part of the reason too. I mean, you never know. But I mean, on the farm, we have a lot of problems with the carpenter bees in the barn. Yeah. Really drilling holes in the rafters, and they can really compromise a structure pretty quick.
Now, I wonder if you could get a carpenter bee home or nest. You see them advertised and put it up, and if they'd go to that other than your wood in the barn.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. That's a really good. We need to look into that, Mayor Seibert.
So there you go, Jim Seibert, Holistic Bees.
I'm telling you. So what do you do to attract them? If you're like my uncle and you don't, you're not seeing the numbers that you used to, and that's pretty important for a great garden. So what do you do?
You try to keep your bees alive. First of all, you try to keep them from swarming off. And that's when the hive will split and half of them will go. And a good way of doing that is just split the hive yourself. Take off part of it. They'll make a new queen. You got another hive. But just keep them healthy. Make sure they're fed. Like right now, there are flowers, but it's not going to be like it's going to be in another month. Seems like I hadn't seen the blossoms. And I think that's because it got warm and then it dropped down to 35 degrees.
Right. They're just trying to make sure that Mother Nature's for sure this time.
Yes. Yeah. So just make sure they're fed and look in there and make sure there is a queen in your hive. I checked and I'm missing 3 queens in some 3 hives.
Goodness.
So I got a queen.
How do you tell the queen away from the rest of them?
Well, the queen's bigger and she'll have attendants with her. And but the easiest way is just see if there's brood, pupa, eggs, see if baby bees are going to come along. If you pull it open, don't see any sign of any eggs being laid, there's no queen in there. Or seeing a queen sack where they're trying to make a new queen, something's happened.
Okay. I've got to admit, now there's some people, I know this sounds crazy, but they don't want the hives anywhere around their place.
Right.
So
right. I went to one in Paducah a couple of days ago. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I mean, what do we do? If we find a hive, because they've been known to get in the walls of a house.
Yeah. I'm not cutting a house open, but if you got a swarm, that's an easy catch there. But if you have it in your house, that can be tough. I've taken some out of a crawl space, which was kind of odd. They were between the floor joists.
Right.
And I've got what's called a bee vacuum, and I can just suck these bees into a box and then go put them on the hive, and they go right down into the hive.
Oh, wow.
But, if it's in the walls of your house, you're going to have to cut the walls open to some extent to get the bees out.
Right. Well, I've seen them in some strange places. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm one of those that I love to see the bees outside in the garden. I love to see them on the flowers. I don't want to see a hive, and I don't want it anywhere around the house.
No, it's really fascinating to watch because at certain times of the day, different plants will bloom or put out, the nectar. And these bees, if they like that plant, at that time of day, you'll see the most amazing amount of bees come out of the hive, and they will go for 15 minutes hard, and they will hit wherever that plant is, and then it's gone. Then they're gone. They wanted that plant. Plants release their nectar at different times of the day, so they don't compete with each other.
When I see that makes me feel a little better because I like watching them on the plant. The hive terrifies me.
Oh no, we weed eat right up to them. They don't even know we're around. Now, if you hit that hive with that weed eater, they're going to know you're around.
That's kind of like knocking on the door a little hard, huh?
Yeah, one thing to remember about bees: one side makes honey, and the other side makes pain.
Okay.
So just remember that.
Well,
you want the honey side, not the pain side.
Well, what do you do if you get stung by a bee? I mean, what's the protocol for it? I know growing up what we did, but
I swell up.
I do too.
Protocol. I take some Benadryl. I try not to get stung. I suit up and don't think that bee's not going to find that little entrance to your bee suit. They will.
Well,
suit
and I've
up
heard
and
like
just be careful.
Wasp can't see the color red, which kind of surprised me. Because I'm terrified of them too, so I looked it up. So wasp can't see the color red. Is there a color that bees can't really see?
I don't know. I wouldn't believe that about wasp. Wasps are just evil.
Oh, I know. See?
They can. Yeah, I wouldn't believe that. That might be a wise tale.
I don't know. Well, Google said it. It must be true, right?
I don't know. Let's go hold up some red things in front of a wasp nest. See if they see it. If they fly into it, we know they can't see it.
It's me that's holding the stupid thing. That's what they're going to get. They could care less about the red whatever. But I heard things like that because I looked them up trying to figure out what to wear that, they wouldn't be attracted to. I did. That's how scary. I'm telling my secrets today. I have a phobia of wasp. I really do.
Put on the red suit.
I'm telling you. Well, at least with the bees, though, if you're going to come and get them, if they're, too encroaching on the house a little too much, if the hive gets too big, if you don't see the hive, but you see the bees, where do they like to build a hive at, other than my house?
Well, they will. Well, George Mitchell here in town, he had one in the peak of his house. He's right in front of the Butler building, and also in the walls. And I don't know if people saw it last weekend. They were cutting the walls, trying to get them out. And,
well, didn't we have some in a trash can down at one of the parks here in Princeton last summer?
Yeah, those bees are probably in one of the old buildings downtown, and the swarm split, and they just went down there. The swarm will stay together until they find a new place to live.
Oh, okay.
They just bundle up, send out some scouts, and then they'll move along till they get to the new place. They're really harmless when you see that.
Well,
of course, if you go punch that swarm, like I said, you're going to find that non-making honey end of the bee.
When do you collect honey? When is that a thing?
I'm going to. Well, I always just check the hives. Of course, I try to get honey out in the fall, but I'll check it about June and see what's going on from the spring. But normally, I try to split them up where I can get a little bit of honey in the spring and a little bit of honey in the fall.
What do? Do you go in there and steal the honeycomb?
Steal some of it. I always leave them some to eat on. But yeah, just go in there and take the frames out and strip it and cut it, sling it, get all the honey out. And then I try to wash the frames to some extent. And then I'll set it out and the bees will clean it. Then I'll put it back in the hive.
Oh, so they'll actually use their own honey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why they store it. They store it for winter. So.
Well, let's just pretend I don't know anything about any of it. And
you know which end stings.
Let's just assume that, So explain to me, like, when you take it out of the hive, what do you do next? I mean, after you've got the honey.
Well, I'll collect the frames and take to my garage, and there I will cut the frames and let the honey drip into this big container. And then after it drips for a while, I'll put it in what I call my slinger. Put the frames in there, shut the top, hit the button, and it spins it around and slings the honey out of it, and that does a really good job of getting a lot of honey out of the frames. And then we'll filter that honey. I usually filter it twice and bottle it. And then I'll take the frames. I like to wash them off. I just like to wash them off. You can set them out there and they'll be sticky. I'd rather wash them off, and there'll still be some honey on it for the bees to come and clean them the rest of the way. And then I will put them back in the frame, in the hive. If I put it in all sticky and gooey with honey, that causes pests to get into it, to go after it.
Right.
And then I try to sell the honey because I'm a gentleman honey farmer.
Well, now, see, I do want to say you're listening to Mayor Seibert on 1580 103.3 WPKY Princeton. And, that's one of the things that we've spotlighted all week this week, though, is, local farms and local produce and local products that are made and grown and sold right here in Caldwell County. And that's one of them. And I especially on Earth Day, 50th anniversary of it today, I thought it would be a great time to spotlight the bees because our Earth would look so much different without honeybees.
Oh, and right now, I know everybody's in lockdown and antsy, but it is gourmet cooking time if you're locked in at home. And you can go Trimble Farms, grab some, homegrown stuff, go home and cook a meal. Why would you want to wait in line at Walmart?
Right.
When you can go there and get fresh eggs.
Right. Well, and we just talked about Cresswell Farms and their mushrooms this week, too.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, it is gourmet cooking time. Little story, you know how I like my stories. Last fall, for fall break, I did not want to go to Florida. Why do I want to go to a place that's hot when it's been hot all summer?
Right.
We went to Wisconsin, and when we were in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, there was a little restaurant, and everything they made was locally grown. And it was delicious. And, you're sitting there asking, what are you going to do this fall? I said, well, we moved to root plants in the fall, and all the meat was locally grown. Well, this is gourmet time for cooking.
Yeah.
Sitting at home, locked up, you're like, what am I going to do today?
Well, let's eat.
Let's cook something.
I like that a lot. And of course, do you sell your honey?
I do. It's Mac and Maddie Honey on Facebook, and I don't have my price sheet on me. It's at the house. But we got plenty of different sizes and such.
And so we should be looking for it around June, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping once the farmers markets get opened back up, we'll be out there doing it.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, if they have any questions, they can get a hold of you and ask you about the honey and when its availability and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And we still got plenty because I'd stocked up for the farmers markets and everything got closed down. So, I've been making honey butter. There you go.
Oh, that's such good stuff.
Yeah, kids were like, what are we going to do today? We're going to make honey butter.
My kids would probably be more excited about we're going to eat honey butter instead of the we're going to make it. They just want to know the end result,
I'll take some honey butter and some corn, and that's so good.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you for hollering at us this morning. We appreciate it. And I wanted to just, say thank you for doing the whole bee thing because that's something that not a lot of people do. And you got to have a little bit of guts to do that.
Tess, I just want to give a thank you out to Northside Baptist Church. They sent a very nice card and letter to City Hall, and that kind of made my day on Monday because Mondays are hard anyway because they're Mondays.
Right.
And I go into City Hall, and there's a really nice thank you letter from them. And I just want to say thank you, guys. That was nice of you.
I'm glad you told us that. That's fantastic. Every once in a while, I think we all need a little oomph, a little pat on the back every once in a while when we do it the right way.
That was all right. So
I think that's wonderful. That. Those folks are great folks over there. So good job, Northside. How about that?
Yeah. Way to go. Take a bow. Appreciate it.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you, mister, you better get your Top Gun trivia going because you missed out on the Star Wars one today. So if you want to win popcorn tomorrow, you're going to have to know something about the Top Gun movie.
I'm not going to win popcorn. I'm going to go buy me some.
Oh, well, looky there.
I can't wait
Hashtag
for that.
support local. That's going to be this Sunday from 3 to 6, so don't forget about that, okay?
Was that not a great idea of hers? I love that.
Fantastic.
I love it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. We appreciate you and all that you do, and hang in there. Have a good week. Try to avoid the showers.
Yep, appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Mayor Jim Seibert, of course, from Fredonia. We love him to death. He's always a good friend of ours, and we pick on him a lot and we mess with him a lot, but we sure are thankful for him. Of course, today is Earth Day, 50th anniversary, and we are kind of celebrating that all week this week with different ways and different people in the local area that grow produce and products and that's locally grown and farmed, and of course bees and honey. That's just another way to do it. And our bees are important. And they are slipping away from us in some areas. So make sure you're cognizant when you're out there with all the pesticides, and make sure that, what you're doing is not causing more harm than good. So we need to check ourselves with that balance every once in a while. Of course, go out and enjoy the earth on Earth Day and teach the kids what it's all about and why for 50 years we felt like it was important every year on the 22nd to celebrate that, would you? Stick around. Of course, Audrey Lamb is going to have your full newscast in just a little bit. Of course, Todd and all the rest of it, Eddie Owen, they'll have your sports. And, of course, we'll be checking in with Ag around lunchtime. Don't forget tomorrow, 2 more buckets of free popcorn. We're giving that away from Capitol Cinema. And be kind to one another. We'll get back together soon, okay? 1580 103.3 WPKY.
In the coming days and weeks, millions and millions of dollars are going to be arriving in mailboxes and checking accounts here in our area. Stimulus checks are here or